Grapes are sour. It is very difficult. It is very common fact of life that people often find fault with things which they like to have but are unavailable to achieve. In order to satisfy their so-called ego, they start describing fallacies of those things. Therefore, they often say grapes are sour. Once upon a time, there was a hungry fox. He did not find anything to eat. After wandering here and there in search of food, he went to a garden. There he saw a vine of the ripe grapes. Seeing this, his mouth watered at the thought of delicious and juicy grapes. He jumped up to get the grapes but could not reach them. He jumped again and again but could not reach. At last he gave up his struggle but not keep up the appearances, and to console his hurt, he said, "The grapes are sour and not worth eating. It must certainly not eat them, as they are unripe and sour. Sour grapes may make my throat sour." Saying this, he left the garden. A crow sitting on a tree heard his words and laughed at the fox for showing his lack of interest in eating grapes, interest because he was unable to get what he wanted. Moral: grapes are sour. So next story is the "A Rolling Stone Gather No Moss." Once upon a time, animals and birds wanted to choose their king. They held a meeting to elect the king. The animals wanted to make a king from animals, but birds wanted to make a king from the birds. The lion and eagle were the candidates for the kingship. The matter could not be settled. After a hot discussion, a battle broke out between animals and birds. During this, the behavior of the bat was very strange. He observed the situation clearly. When the animals seemed to be winning, he went to them and claimed, "I am an animal because I give milk to my young ones." And when the birds seemed to be winning, he went to them and claimed, "I am a bird because I have wings." He cried on changing sides like a turn caught throughout fight. At last, the animals won the battle and the lion was declared as a king of the jungle. When the bat went to animals to congratulate them on victory, they turned him out by saying that as you can lay eggs. When they went to birds to console them, they also tuned him away by saying that "you are not bird." In this way, the bat was insulted and rejected by birds and animals. Moral: rolling stone gather no moss. A turn caught enjoys no respect. So there is story: three poor greedy friends. Once upon a time, there lived three friends in a village. They were very poor. They decided to go somewhere to try their luck. They set out on a long journey. On the way, they passed through a forest. Suddenly, they found a bag full of gold coins. They were filled with the delight. They all were very greedy. Each of this wished to have all the money himself, but they agreed to divide it equally among themselves. They were feeling very hungry. They sent one of them to the nearest village to buy some food. On the way to the village, the man thought that he would kill his two companions and have all the gold himself. So he bought some poison and mixed it into the food for his other two friends. In his absence, the other two friends conspired to kill him and divide the coins equally between them. As the third friend came back, they fell upon him and put him to death. Then they ate the food brought by him. Within a few minutes, they began to vomiting blood and died in a great despair. Moral: the greed is a curse. As you sow, you shall reap. He who digs a pit for others falls into it himself, tit for tat. And the next is the "A Stitch in Time Saves Nine." Once there was a royal messenger whom the king trusted fully. He was very loyal and faithful. However, he was reckless and imprudent by temperaments. Once day, the king rendered of the commander of the king's army in the battlefield. The messenger was given a limited time to deliver the message. He decided to commence his young journey straight away as he wanted to deliver the message in time. At the time of the departure, he noticed that a nail from one of the shoe of his horse was missing. As he was in haste, he neglected it and decided to set off right away. He made his horse gallop. The horse dashed off like a fast blowing gale. When the messenger had covered over half of the distance, he realized that the horse had begun limping. He became worried and demonstrated the horse to see what had happened to it. He discovered that one of the shoes of the horse had gone off. He felt exceedingly helpless. He could do nothing except to make the horse run, even widely ran to reach his destination. Ultimately, he reached the battlefield, but he was too late to deliver the message. The king's army had been, because the message was not delivered in time. He reproached himself for not being careful and the cautions about the nail in the shoe of the horse, but it was too late to mend. Moral: a stitch in this time saved nine. Haste makes waste. Our last story is the wolf and the lamb. The world is ruled by the use of powers. The weak has no voice in the world, which is ruthless and only defends the rights of power. In a world like this, the weak are always wrong, where the mighty and the powerful are never supposed to be wrong. The following story rightly demonstrates the truth. Once a lamb went to a stream to drink water. As it was drinking water, a wolf reached the stream. Also, the wolf looked for an excuse to attack and tear the lamb. Finding no other excuse, the wolf said to lamb, "You are making the stream water muddy. How dare you?" The lamb answered very meekly, "Sir, I am drinking water down the stream. How can I make the water dirty?" The wolf was cut short by the presence of the mind of the lamb. After a while, the wolf said, "That you who insulted me 6 months ago." The lamb very politely said that it was not born even 6 months ago. How can be there? The wolf became speechless. After some time, the wolf snarled, "I do not care it was you or not. Now you must pay for your mother's fault." Saying this, the wolf pounced on the lamb and tore it into pieces. Moral: might is right. And second moral is, any excuse is good enough for a wicked person.